Welcome to the He's Got Issues Independent Comics Edition number 28. I'm John Cooney here to preview new independent comics being released September 4th, 2013, beginning alphabetically with Boom Studios and Deathmatch number 9. Brand new arc, perfect jumping on point for new readers. The leader of the Protectors must confront the evil entity that's been terrorizing the prison, while the sinister intentions of one of the heroic combatants is finally revealed. Don't miss the latest chapter of the series Bleeding Cool called How to Do It Right, only from Paul Jenkins and Carlos Magno. Next, we've got Garfield number 17. After Garfield's thrilling battle with the lasagna monsters, what delicious delicacy could possibly want to take on the fat cat next? Well, hold on to your plates, as the calzone creature is here and hungry. We've also got Hit number 1 of 4. Just because you're proven guilty doesn't mean you're innocent. Why we love it? We're suckers for classic film noir, crime comics, and pulp detective novels. We love the secret history of the law enforcement in our hometown, Los Angeles. Mostly, we love stories about good men making hard decisions in unforgiving circumstances. Why you'll love it? Hit is a dark crime drama filled with murderers, rapists, and drug lords, and the men who'll stop at nothing to bring them to justice. If you're a fan of Criminal, Parker, and Toomer, then Hit is the series for you. What it's about? Los Angeles, it's 1955, it's dark, it's sexy, it's dangerous. Everyone has an angle, and while infamous gangster Mickey Cohen rots in a prison cell, Los Angeles ignores the blackest parts of the city's heart, where clandestine groups of LAPD detectives moonlight as sanctioned hitmen known as hit squads. And we've got Suicide Risk number 5. Before Leo, before Memento Mori, before Diva, there was Ada Robbins. When superpower-slinging dealers Jed and Haley find Ada, a kind-hearted, if downtrodden mother of 2, she has been watching her life fall apart in slow motion decades now, with no hope of putting it back together. Life having primed her for Jed and Haley's Faustian bargain, Ada finds herself at the moral crossroads. Finally have the freedom from crushing responsibility, or keep her beleaguered family together. And what's stopping her if she really thinks about it from just having both? A standalone tale perfect for new readers. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Baltimore, the Infernal Train number 1 of 3. While Baltimore hides out in Budapest awaiting the arrival of the sadistic Judge Duvik, a strange woman shows up with a bizarre invention she promises will rid the world of vampire plague. Next, we've got Catalyst Comics number 3 of 9. On the road to enlightenment, Frank Wells' mission turns activist. Amazing Grace confronts a mysterious visitor, and over at Agents of Change, a little ultraviolence for all the kids out there. Blast your way into local comic shop and demand your copy today. Masterminded by Joe Casey of Sex, The Bounce, and Godland. We've also got Michael Avon Oeming's The Victories number 5. When a new government force is unleashed against the powers, champions and villains alike must band together to beat the threat against them. But can they overcome one of their own? Our heroes must face not only their own demons, but the demons of a country as well. The war for the world starts today. Hard-hitting, ongoing superhero adventure. And we've got The Star Wars number 1 of 8. Before Star Wars, there was The Star Wars. This is the authorized adaptation of George Lucas' rough draft screenplay of what would eventually become a motion picture that would change the world. Anakin Starkiller is the hero, Luke Skywalker is a wizened Jedi general, Han Solo is a big green alien, and the Sith, well, the Sith are still the bad guys. High adventure and daring do from longer ago in a galaxy even farther away. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Army of Darkness vs. Hack Slash number 2 of 6. Ash and his new partner Cassie Hack are on the trail of missing pages of the Necronomicon, and their first case leads them to a prison shower, naked deadites, and an evil double. Can Cassie and Ash stand each other long enough to deal with Bad Mahish? A bloody, twisted ride starring 2 of horror's greatest monster-mashing icons. Next, we've got Black Bat number 5. The Black Bat's loyalty to Carol and the mystery benefactors are put to the test when he is ordered to team up with a foe from his past. Also, Snate's suitcase bomb is on the move, putting hundreds of lives in danger. We've also got Codename Action number 1 of 6. During the height of the Cold War, unknown forces scheme to heat up a global conflict. As key officials on both sides of the Iron Curtain are replaced with doppelgangers, the infiltration threatens to disrupt the precarious state of world affairs. The security of the free world depends on a young secret agent, one assigned to shape the world's masked heroes into a force with singular purpose and unyielding resolve. Next, we've got Lords of Mars number 2 of 6. Lord Greystoke and Jane find themselves transported to Mars, where they learn of a terrible tyrant named John Carter who has enslaved the dying planet. The ape-man's newfound friends are putting on an elaborate deception, but to what end? John Carter meanwhile deals with the sinister machinations of a strange new cult devoted to none other than him. We've also got Mocking Dead number 1 of 4. From the New York Times bestselling writer of the Marvel Zombie series comes a gut-splitting, then eating comedy. A small outbreak can turn into a worldwide apocalypse, but only through a long string of screw-ups. Once actual zombies begin popping up in our world, a lone intelligence analyst realizes real-life events are beginning to mimic the events of a long-lost Grade Z drive-in horror flick. As he races to save humanity with this knowledge, he quickly learns the only thing more dangerous than ravenous walking corpses is the ineptitude of the living. Next, we've got Owl number 3 of 4. While the owl struggles to find his place in the modern world, the new owl girl betrays every code of morality in her fight against criminals. Will the time-lost hero guide her to see the light, or will Jasper solve the owl girl problem with more permanence in the form of an assassin? We've also got Pathfinder Goblins number 2 of 5, 2 goblin-themed short stories set in the beloved Pathfinder RPG universe. Gurgle, the most brilliant longlun ever to draw breath, has a plan. Along with his feckless pal Deep, he'll convince a tribe of squid whistlers to help him sink a treasure ship and then profit. Meanwhile, a pack of goblins steals an invisibility cloak from a traveling merchant. Once the mystical pranks lose their appeal, Mub the Goblin knows there's only one crime worthy of a true goblin hero: stealing Chief Korgomorg's magic pig. We've also got Shadow Year 1 number 5 of 10. As the Shadow continues to pursue his crusade against crime, Margot Lane struggles to figure out where she fits into Lamont Cranston's dark and mysterious world. Their fortunes disrupted by Big Gung Maserati's senseless gang war, the other NYC mob bosses seek a big score in the commission of a daring heist. Meanwhile, the intrepid reporter continues his relentless search, inching closer and closer to uncovering the Shadow's secrets. Eisner Award-winning author Matt Wagner continues his thrilling exploration of the Shadow's original adventures as the iconic Master of Darkness, with stunning and evocative art by Wilfredo Torres and colors by Brennan Wagner. And we've got Warlord of Mars, Dejah Thoris number 29, War of the Machine Men. While Dejah Thoris recovers from an encounter with a figure from her past, Helium's United Red Army launches thousands of ships to stop the accursed Machine Men march against Barsoom. From IDW Publishing, we've got Danger Girl, The Chase number 1 of 4. On the trail of a virtually important and wildly volatile briefcase, the Danger Girls enter into what amounts to the most treacherous and dangerous game of hot potato of all time. Abby, Sydney, and Sonia use any and all means to traverse towns, cities, states, countries, and continents in their relentless pursuit to retrieve and keep the unstable ticking time bomb before it begins its countdown to unimaginable danger. Next, we've got G.I. Joe, The Cobra Files number 6, The Boy Most Likely To, Part 2. After being captured by the enemy and seeing the team's mission fall apart, Flint's faith in his leadership abilities has been shaken. Can Flint keep things together and help the team get past their mistakes, or have the cracks begun to show? And we've got Haunted Horror number 6. These creepy, eerie comics from Vaults of Horror will appall you, shock you, horrify you, disgust you, make you throw up in your mouth a little. In other words, you'll love them. Read and see the brilliant art of the best 1950s comics that your mom, Dr. Frederick Worthless, and the U.S. Senate didn't want you to see. Don't miss this. From Image Comics, we've got Blackacre number 10. At his distant outpost, Hull receives unwelcome visitors. Meanwhile, an eager guardian puts Blackacre's security capabilities on explosive display. Next, we've got Chew number 36. Chew number 36 is Chew number 29.5. Did that just blow your mind? We've also got A Distant Soil number 41. The hierarchy is defeated. Now the small team of human rebels and their allies face an even bigger foe, a fractionalized resistance movement intent on seizing power. Next, we've got Hoax Hunters number 10, The Book of Mothman, Part 1. The start of the final arc of Season 1 begins here, featuring a new series artist Tristan Jones. Cryptids begin appearing across the country. Reagan joins Donovan to confront a powerful demon in South America. Tensions build and threats heighten, all leading to the season's powerful conclusion. We've also got Invincible number 105, Invincible is back. It's a new day dawning for everyone's favorite superhero. If you've ever wanted to jump onto Invincible without shelling out the money for 18 collected editions, this would be the perfect issue to start with. We've also got Invincible Universe number 6. Buy this comic and support the war effort against North Korea. Bring our guardians of the globe home safe. Next, we've got Love Stories to Die For #1, 2 complete stories at less than half the price of 2 comics, 2 full-length stories and 1 double-length flip book. First, a desperate monk pits a band of savage Vikings against a pack of rabid vampires in a frantic attempt to protect an exceptionally precious child. In the second story, a woman trapped on a space station overrun by aliens must choose whether to save the second seat on her 2-passenger escape pod for her aloof but heroic husband or for her passionate, forbidden lover. We've also got Reality Check #1. A struggling artist, Willard Penn, scores an unlikely hit with his new comic. The story centers on a hero more concerned with his libido than serving justice. After an unexpected sellout, Willard can't recall anything about his story. That night, the book's hero shows up outside Willard's window, refusing to return to the comic until he finds true love. Exasperated, Willard is forced to help the lovesick hero meet the perfect woman, but he'll need to hurry because the book's villain, a homicidal maniac, has entered his world as well. Next, we've got Satellite Sam #3. Mike reaches out to the only woman he recognizes in his dead father's collection of personal girly snaps, and not only does she have stories about the old man that would curl your hair, but she sees a method to the old man's madness. What if there's a picture of his killer somewhere in the room where he died? We've also got Sheltered #3. What has the kids of Safe Haven so terrified? Their fears are revealed as Lucas and Victoria square off against one another. Next, we've got Spawn #235. Jim's battle with the K7 Letha continue, featuring a warning, a new ally, and the origin of blood. Having fought the K7 Letha's attempt to control him, if only temporarily, Jim finds himself trapped in the White, an endless nothing, where secrets hide and new truths await discovery. From this seemingly empty haze, a new friend, with close ties to one of Al Simmons' greatest allies, comes forth with a warning about blood's true self, and an ancient tale of the origin of the world's first vampire. And we've got Witchblade #169, Absolute Corruption Conclusion. Sarah has faced ultimate evil embodied within a bubbly 20-something, an ex-convict who deals with black magic, and a boyfriend who keeps a supernatural, artifact-eating mystic in his basement. She's managed to thwart each threat separately, but when they converge, can she put up enough of a fight to save her adopted hometown? From Valiant Entertainment, we've got Quantum and Woody #3. What scares you more than anything else you can imagine? Wrong. The answer is the Nightmare Brigade. The scheming forces of the ERA will stop at nothing to unlock the secret science behind Quantum and Woody's powers, and they're just getting started. Plus, see what it takes to tear our boys apart, figuratively and literally. Trust us when we say this one has teeth. And we've got Shadowman #10, straight out of the pages of Shadowman #0. The secret origin of all Shadowmen, past and present, stands revealed as Justin Jordan and Roberto de la Torre unveil the next macabre chapter in the lives of Nicodemo and Sandria Dark. Long ago, in the Antebellum South, Master Dark's evil spawned the one thing that could stop him, the Shadowman. Discover how the Dark's depravity is intertwined with Shadowman for more than a century, and the betrayal forged them both in this special standalone prelude to Shadowman's next shocking story arc, a place that has ways of making sure its secrets stay kept. Out in trades this week, we've got Morning Glories Volume 5 trade paperback. The Glories are scattered, the faculty broken, and the truants on the attack. Collecting the explosive mind-bending Season 2 premiere events, Tests. Collects Morning Glories #26 to 29. And we've got Walking Dead Volume 9 hardcover. In this volume of New York Times bestselling survival horror, Rick and his band of survivors work to build a larger network of thriving communities. But Negan and his saviors proved to be a larger threat than any could have imagined. Crossing them will lead to The Walking Dead's most harrowing story since the Governor's Reign of Terror. Collects issues #97 to 108. Okay, so that's a look at some of the top independent publishers this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and DC videos for this week, as well as my usual roundup of all my favorites for the week with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.